Good morning, homeschool moms and dads and kids. If you're listening, it is Bandana Day. And if you watch my other videos, you know what Bandana Day means. So, I'm off to the races. It's very rare, like I told you, that I will get out of bed and take a shower and look good. Okay, so grab your coffee, your tea, your soda, your water, your smoothie, your whatever, makes you feel good in the morning. I'm going to take a sip of this, and then we're going to jump into a gracious space. I need grace this morning. I'm not feeling good. Some of you may know I have polyperipheral neuropathy. I'm having a very, very, very bad day today. And I ran out of my medication last night, so today I'm feeling the pain. But I'm going to move forward and I'm going to talk about competing promises. Now, as you know, I do have a Facebook page called Getting Homeschooled, and I really focus on the support system for homeschooling on that page. I really want other moms to be able to come there and feel safe, to be able to present any and all of their heartaches, their joys. I have very little participation on that page, which is very sad for me because I had hoped, I can't speak this morning, I had hoped that the page would really be a community of love and support and sharing of ideas. And while I am the administrator of the page, I really want more people to be actively involved and tell us what's working, what's not working in your homeschool life, just to kind of share with us. And that's what this reading is about today. So let me go ahead and get started. Right off the bat, it says it's not unusual, and if any of you know the old song by Tom Jones, it's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Okay, that came to my mind. So it's not unusual to feel muddled when you think about what the best course of home education is for your children. There are competing promises among the many choices: freedom, depth, flexibility. Children learn best when children decide what, when, and how they will learn and for what purpose. Advanced academic preparation, mentoring, inspire, not require. Connections between subjects, personalized education, a well-trained mind, a science of relations, character building, religion-free, multicultural world citizen, literature-rich, Christ-centered, open and go, structured and thorough, comprehensive, parent-led, child-led. I'm sure you can add quotes and slogans of your own. With the advent of the internet, there are even more homeschooling groups, websites, blogs, forums, email lists, and Facebook groups than ever. Each promises a happy, well-educated, well-adjusted child at the end of the journey. I don't promise any of that. I can pretty much promise you none of that. I told you, my Facebook is not fluffy. It is not, to make you feel inadequate. In fact, my website and my Facebook page will probably make you feel like the better parent out of the two of us. Seriously. When you explore, however, the advocates of any system typically believe in theirs so thoroughly they disregard the value of any other system or program. When you make a choice to adopt a scientific, I can't read today, y'all. I'm just off the mark. Whoa. Whoop. Rewind. When you make a choice to adopt a specific program or plan, even if the plan is to let go of the plan, the initial experience is often like trying to join a marathon in progress, only you've never done the training. You get tired, you say the wrong things, you do the wrong things, while the trained runners whiz by you. Missteps and misunderstandings of the principles lead to strong exhortations of the part of the advocates. Everything from advice giving to figurative hand slaps to humiliation. Even when you earnestly seek to apply the principles in their entirety, if you run aground, have struggles, find that the method isn't working for one of your children, or discover that you aren't having the success you envisioned, sometimes you're blamed for not applying the principles correctly, or enough, or with the right tone of voice, or according to the right schedule, or lack of it. Learning how to live according to a vision someone else cast is demanding, to say the least. No two people understand the vision the same way. Add your family to the mix where you've done all the research and they've typically done none, and you have a recipe for confusion, particularly during the transition away from one paradigm to another. Parenting and education are broad categories. There is no one single way to bring children into adulthood as learned people. We know this because the world over uses a variety of parenting and educational strategies, and the world embodies brilliant minds and close connected families and cultures completely different from ours. Our goal can't be to find the right set of tools or the right ideology or the right system. It can't be to advocate so righteously for one method that we overlook the benefit or valuable insights of another. Any philosophy that adopts the viewpoint that if you experience failure or struggle, you aren't doing it right, is in danger of putting ideas ahead of people. No one lives any belief system so purely that they never run up against the limits of that perspective. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that all perspectives have limits, and all people have limited abilities to carry out their best intentions. Examining your principles is a good place to start. Principles are easier to live by than rules. But purists can turn principles into rules, so be careful. Your best bet is to be gentle with yourself and to surround your homeschool life with people who are advocates for you more than your philosophy of education or parenting. You should have room to air your confusion, your mistakes, your failures, and your successes. You shouldn't have to pretend to live up to the ideals of the group in order to participate. Amen. You shouldn't be subjected to unkind scrutiny for the sake of being a lesson for others. It is possible to get value from a perspective even if you don't adopt it all the time. It's possible to use a style of education for a few years and then try something else for a few years just to change up the energy in your home. It's great to read the powerful arguments for a variety of educational theories so that you avoid getting into a rut of thought where you make one view all bad and have to defend your view as all good. These are rarely useful ways to evaluate. Finally, some seasons demand different styles of home education for everyone's peace of mind. Families dealing with chronic or terminal illness in a parent will necessarily approach home education differently than those with parents fully functioning. Anyone have fully functioning parents out there? What matters, what will matter most to you in the end, is the feeling that the people you love consider home and education to be pleasant, peaceful, and life-giving. No family or home feels like that all the time in any philosophy. Many philosophies help you get there. Most often, the philosophy is only as good as the emotional health of the parents anyway. Your goal is to string together, like pearls on a necklace, moments where you can say, today was a good day together and we learned something too. When these accumulate, life starts to hum. Don't worry so much about how you got there. Enjoy it while it lasts. Note it. Be proud of it. Don't doubt it. Weirdly, that's enough, whether you co-sleep or bottle feed or homeschool or put your kids on a yellow bus. Love in the home, created by conscientious parents who take education seriously in any of its myriad forms, is what we all want. Go forth in your homeschool today and enjoy whatever philosophy it is that fascinates you. So here's our sustaining thought. You're doing it right if you are a conscientious, loving parent who takes education seriously in any of its myriad forms. I really have to tell you something from this perspective of the book and what she's saying here. I have found that certain groups of people who are like in the Charlotte Mason group or are in the classical conversation group, they tend to like form groups, and you're like, it's very hard to kind of break into those groups. They've got their own set ideals and perceptions, and they don't want any of that other stuff trickling in. I've noticed that. That's just here in Kenosha in Wisconsin, because I'm noticing that it's incredibly difficult to really connect with other homeschooling families here. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. And I hear that all over the place. And even the leader of our homeschooling group at one time had said that she just doesn't get it, and she has been running this group for quite some time, and she has found that it's really hard for newcomers to connect. And I'm not sure if it's the style of learning that people, want to stick close to those people who do that, where she is saying, you know what, stick with people who are going to support you rather than the philosophy and the homeschool type of homeschool that you do. You really just want to be around people that are supportive of you as a homeschooling parent, period. It doesn't matter what you're doing or what you're not doing. What matters is that you're doing the best that you can. Before I started the reading, I told you about my Facebook group, and I told you about my website. My website completely changed. I really had to do a lot of work and thinking about it and what I really wanted it to be. And it's taken me a long time to get to where I feel satisfied with my website and what I'm doing with it. Because I'm offering this, which is a lot of hope for all of you homeschooling parents. I recently had somebody ask me if this was just a Christian-based group on my Facebook page. And I said, well, I'm Christian, so lots of times I will post Christian things because I'm a Christian. And I said, but it's for anyone. I don't want to exclude a secular homeschooler or a Muslim homeschooler. We can all learn from them. One thing that I did last year was when we were learning about creation as Christians, my brother-in-law was living with us at the time, and he's a devout atheist and believes in evolution. And so I did a really cool interview with him and asked him questions about why he believed what he believed and why he was an atheist. And it was not like, why do you not believe in God? It was, where did this stem from? How did you come to these conclusions? And it was presented to my homeschooling co-op group, which was just my best friend and her kids. But still, we really want to hear what other people believe and why. I need to know that. It's important that we know that, because if we don't, then when we come up against somebody who doesn't believe in the same things that we do, the first knee-jerk reaction is going to be calling them names, which is going to get us nowhere. And we're finding that out in the world today, that when we don't understand each other, that the first thing we're going to do is just start attacking each other. So my website and my Facebook group are a place where we can be real, where we can be honest with each other, and again, I want it to be a safe place where we are not attacking each other, but supporting each other and loving each other, encouraging each other, helping one another. I just had a wonderful friend offer her Matthew C blocks to me, manipulatives, the math rods, and she had a hard time kind of letting them go. Even though she's not homeschooling anymore, and I thought it was really cute, and I was, it was in the original box, and I said, you know what? She was like, oh, it's in the original box, and oh, here you go. And I said, you know what? Keep the box, because I am afraid of what Tavin will do with that box. Put the rest in the baggies, just put the rods in the baggies, I'm good to go. I don't need the box. But that's what it's about. It's about sharing our experiences. And like I said, she was sharing how she used those math rods. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was anti-math rods. You're like, what? That's silly. No, it's true. I really was like, I'm an old school math person. Like I said, if you watch one of my other videos, I'm almost 50 years old. So I come from real old school math. And then there came the new math when my oldest son was in school. And now there's this Common Core math. And never in my life did we learn place values. This is the 10 spot, the 1 spot, the 100 spot. Well, no, we never learned any of that. And so not only is it confusing for me, but really Tavin can't wrap his mind around it. So I tried everything I possibly could besides the Matthew C math rods, because I was anti-math rods. And now I realized that the very thing that I was so against is the very thing that is helping Tavin learn math really effectively. So I want to give a big shout out to my friend Gina, who let us borrow that, because they're making a huge difference in his ability to comprehend math and to see it. That's why they call it Matthew C. The rods are different colors. It makes sense. And praise God for the Matthew C math rods. So it just goes to show that the very thing that you may be against may be the very thing that would work for you. That doesn't mean that you have to buy into the ideology and that you have to change your whole world around this philosophy of Matthew C. I'm not doing Matthew C. I'm doing a different math program, but using the math rods from Matthew C, because that way when he's doing his math, now he can visually see it. Matthew C. So it's good to be open to other ideas. It's good to listen to other people. It's good to hear what other people are being successful at. But most homeschooling websites have this, it irks me. I see people posting other people's articles on homeschooling, and it's so fluffy and good and fantastic, and it makes me close out the website going, I really suck. I am an entire failure at this thing. I can never live up to that chick's, what she's doing. I could never do that. I'm terrible. And then you walk away from the article, you walk away from your computer, and you go, I'm bad. I'm a failure. I can't do that. How does she have it all together? So for me, my idea of my website and my Getting Homeschooled Facebook page is all about failure. I'm a failure at a lot of things, but I keep going. A lot of people don't like that I'm really open and honest with my everyday life and the things going on around me, but I really truly believe that if I'm not sharing those things with you, you're going to feel alone, because you're going to get articles like I just spoke about, and you're going to go, I'm terrible. I'm not like that. She's so good and pure and honest and so wholesome. And I'm yelling at my kids like 99% of the time all day long, just trying to get them to brush their teeth. And yet she's got this beautiful flowing program that's just perfect and wonderful. And the grace of God that we must get. You are never going to hear me talk in fluffy tones. You are not going to get candy cotton jargons from me. I am a Christian, but I'm telling you, I'm tough as nails. And I will tell you the truth about my life. And I don't think that I should be afraid to tell you where I am going wrong and what I'm doing wrong and how I fail. And I don't have a philosophy that we follow in homeschool. I mean, because it changes almost on a monthly basis. And you want to know how I know that I'm not the only one who does this? Go to the homeschool curriculum marketplaces, the for sale. Go to those and find out how many of the workbooks are out there and programs where it says only the first 2 or 3 pages are done. There's a reason for that. It didn't work for them. Regardless of all the research and all the hope that they put into the program, it didn't work. Okay, we find that everywhere we go, that not every system works. And sometimes we just have to throw it out the door and we have to say, I need to start fresh. I need to start new. I need to figure out what works for us. And you need to, it's not bad to seek out and say, okay, this is really not working for us. Anybody have some suggestions? The suggestions are great, but to push an idea on somebody, not so great. Like I said, I'm a Christian. I'm not going to force it on you. I may talk about it, but I'm not going to tell you, you should be doing Christian education and you should be telling your child how to do character building, and they should be reading the Bible every day. That would be great if I were doing it myself. But you see, I'm in this with you. I am a real person sitting here talking to you. I am not some celebrity. I'm not some famous blogger. I have 75 people who truly follow, who are followers or joined my page, but probably only 3 or 4 that actually read anything I say. So I'm a nobody. I'm just like you sitting here going, what am I doing wrong? What do I do right? How do I get this right? And the only way that we can do that is by being together, by joining together, by connecting. And I keep saying it over and over again, but again, there's only 4 people that are listening and connecting. And if you're not connecting, then you're not getting the help you need. And I'm offering it to you here. So today, be blessed in your homeschooling day or not be blessed. You don't have to be blessed. I'm not going to force my blessings on you. You can take it or leave it. But that's my blessing for you today. And I do pray that your homeschooling day goes fantastic. I pray that you will become actively involved with other homeschooling parents because a lot of us are out here feeling alone and isolated. And we reach out and reach out and reach out and we get nowhere. So it's time to start listening to those who are reaching out and maybe extending your hand towards them and saying, you know what? I'm open to this idea of connecting with other homeschooling moms. I'm willing to let go of this idea that they have to be a certain way or look a certain way or act a certain way in order for me to welcome them into my circle. We need to start opening up the circles and not having circles at all. I like a hodgepodge. Let's just plop everybody randomly everywhere. And you type A personalities are going, no circle? What do you mean, no circle? I'm anal. I really am. My friends who know me know I'm really, really anal, but I'll tell you something. When it comes to circles of groups, I don't believe in it. I'm a firm believer that we all need each other, that we were created to be connected with each other, to have relationships with one another, to be there for one another. I don't believe in circles. That's just, that's just my philosophy. You may think something else, and that's perfectly fine, even though it's wrong. Okay, you guys, you have a blessed day. I've rambled on for 24 minutes again, and most of you lost me at 4 minutes because your attention span is like, I can't do this. If that's your philosophy, that's good. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.